Welcome everyone to another Tuesday training where I provide you with tips, strategies, and advice to help you grow your business and increase your visibility. Now today we're going to be talking about headlines and titles. How to write headlines and titles that convert. That's right, it's important to make sure that your headlines actually get people to read them and move beyond them into the content, correct? And that's why I think this is such an important topic. And not only do I think this is an important topic, so does Mr. David Ogilvy, who is a giant in advertising. And he talks about this, why top-notch headlines matter. Well, on average, 5 times as many people read the headline as read the body copy. So when you've written your headline, you've spent 80 cents out of your dollar. That's what David Ogilvy says. And that's why I think this topic is important to you and why you might want to take some action after you see the tips I'm giving you for creating good headlines and titles. Now, these are going to be headlines and titles that you'll use for maybe what I'm going to use as an example is a free gift that I'll be offering. Maybe it's going to be a course or some other type of program that you're going to be putting together. Perhaps it's going to be a blog or some kind of show that you'll be producing. The importance of the headline cannot be underestimated. It's a very important step to go through. So I'm going to give you some steps on how to go about it in a way that helps them get results, creates curiosity, and gets people to read beyond the headline or the title. So let's get started with that. So the first step, I believe, is to really find a space where you can just go into a mind-storming mode. And by that I mean you want to sit down and just start letting the ideas around your keywords for your topic just start flowing out without any judgment. I think that's an important statement, without judging it. So just let it flow. And I suggest you write down at least 10 to 12 titles or headlines to begin with, without any judgment. Step 2 is something we've talked about in past trainings. It's called using CoScheduler. Now, this is a site that is offered for free where you can analyze your titles and get ratings on them. So I'm going to go into it a little deeper today than I did in our last training. But what you want to do is analyze those 10 to 12 titles that you've come up with and just go with the top ranking titles that are, say, above 68 points. So let me show you how that works on CoScheduler. So I brought the CoScheduler website up, and if you want to know how to go there, you go to coschedule.com/headline-analyzer. coschedule.com/headline-analyzer. Now, once you get there, what you want to do is just go ahead in this white box, put your title in there, put your headline in there, and then click on Analyze. Now, this site is free, but they are going to be asking you for us a few bits of information, like your name and your email address and a little bit about your business. I think it's so worth it that you go ahead and put that information in so that you can use this tool. Now, once you've entered your title or headline in here, you're going to get a report back. And I'll give you an example of one that I've already done. This one is get increased visibility with video, the 5 top strategies. You can see that it ranked very high. It ranked to 71, which gives you a green circle. And it talks about the different areas, common, uncommon, emotional, power words. And the only thing I'm lacking here is the emotional component. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit more because that emotional component is important. But that's what you do. You just go ahead and you schedule, or you go ahead and you analyze all these different titles that you've created in CoScheduler. Now, once you've got that list, I'll give you an example of a list that I created using it for my upcoming free offer I have. And in this case, you can see I've got 12 titles here, and over on the left side, you'll see all the scores that are green are in the 70s, then I have some that are in the 60s. So what I do with these now is take these titles that are all in the 70s and I move them into the next step. So let's talk about step 2, which I think is a really important step, and I've never mentioned it before. And that is to use Advanced Marketing Institute's website. This is a totally free website as well. And what it does is analyze the emotional marketing value of your headline or or your title. So you're going to plug these headlines in that are in that 68 to 70 and above from CoSchedule's analysis, and you're going to make a list of all of those for future reference. And then you're going to put them all into Advanced Marketing Institute, and we're going to find out what scores emotionally high for the headline or the title. And you want to work with scores that are preferably 50 or higher. That's good copywriting. That's actually excellent copywriting. Even scores of 30 would be considered good copywriting. So we're going to go do that next, and we'll come back to steps 4 and 5. So here's an example of going to the AMI Institute, and if you want that website, here you see it, it's amiinstitute.com/headline. amiinstitute.com/headline. Now, once you get here, you just come up and you place the title into the white space there. So I've put the same title in I had analyzed with CoSchedule, and I've placed it here, and then you select your category. In this case, I'm going to select education. And from there, you go ahead and create the analysis. So here we go. We're going to see the analysis, and this is pretty good. 50% is a good emotional analysis. So what that means is that's going to evoke some emotion in people, and they're more apt to pause and read that headline and move into the content. So let me show you again what I did with all the different ones that I came up from brainstorming or mindstorming. So again, I'm going back to that list of the 12 that I went through for this freebie I have coming up. And over here to the right, you'll see the emotional value scores that came from the AMI Institute site. So this score is phenomenal. 80 is a really, really, really high. I was so thrilled to get that. Then I have several over here on the right that are in the 70s. And then the one I just showed you, get increased visibility with video, 5 top strategies, that was 50. So all of those are good. So I've got lots of possibilities now for what's going to be the best title for my freebie. So we got a couple more steps. We're not done, but these are the first steps we take as we go along. So let's go back and go to the next step, and that is step 4. We've got these title possibilities now. They score well on CoSchedule, and they also score high on the emotional marketing value through Advanced Marketing Institute. So what do you do next? Poll your ideal audience. Poll people who have already been clients of yours or people who are current clients. Put the poll out on your Facebook group. That's one of the things that I'm going to be doing with these. And find out what people think of them. Don't give them the scores. You keep the scores to yourself. But see how they respond to the ones that scored high on the research you've done. So that's step 4. Now step 5 is to step back. Step 5 is when you really want to go inward. And I think this is a really important step. So take the titles that ranked high and had good response in the polls and sit down with them for a moment in a quiet space and set the intention for yourself that you are going to find and discover, or the best title or headline is going to be revealed to you through your own inner guidance system. So what I do in this case is I sit and take this quiet time, and I take those titles and I read them out loud. And each one that I read out loud, I pause and go inward and pay attention to the signals in my body. So if a title that I've read increases my energy level, makes me feel happier, more alive, more vibrant, more stimulated, then that's a good title. If the title has a lower response rate in my body, I know it's not quite as good. It's not quite as good for me. It might be a great title, but for me, it may not be as good. So you want to really touch base on a title that resonates with you. That's the final test. It wants to feel good for you. It wants to be in alignment with the offer that you're providing or the information you're providing, and that's the one you go with. And as a result, you're going to find that people are going to resonate with it. They're going to, look at that title, they're going to read it, and more importantly, it's going to convert into them reading your content. And that's the point of having a good title or good headline, isn't it? So I just wanted to let you know that I love working in this area and would love to offer anyone here an opportunity to go deeper with me and get a consultation. So all you have to do is go to shinetips.com/MSM consult, and we'll sit down and talk about ways you can use video and other forms of visibility marketing to brand grow and mark your business. So I want to thank you for taking the time to be here today. If you found that this information was valuable, it would also be wonderful if you'd go ahead and let me know what you liked best about it. Let me know what titles you might have liked best of what you saw, and also share this. Share this with anyone else that it might be valuable for. So I hope you enjoyed this information, and I'll see you next week on another Tuesday training. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye now.